Hello everyone, welcome to day 1 of testing base cars in BeamNG Drive. Behind me is the fabled banana truck watching from afar. Today we're testing the Piccolina 110, the first in the row of vehicles in BeamNG Drive. I'll talk about its stats as we go, but in the meantime, let's begin this little tiny race. Now, the Piccolina A10 is available in a variety of colors and is based in Italy. Based on its, small shape. It is referred to some as Tic Tac or Bean because of its appearance, and it is similar to a VW Beetle in real life anyway. I could be completely wrong, but who knows. Right now we're testing suspension and water endurance. The car is manufactured between 1964 and 1968, according to the BeamNG Drive official source. Autobello currently makes 2 cars in the game, and we'll be testing the other one tomorrow. This is just embarrassing. Well, you would not be able to get out and push. Water endurance is a 0. But it did make it past the river with a little tug. It still handles fairly nicely on dirt. And as for interior looks, don't mind the broken windshield. Very basic design. It was the 60s and everything is being made cheap and affordable. It is rear-engined. There are only a few cars in BeamNG that have this feature, and it's very unique in my opinion. As for handling with a manual transmission, I'd say it handles pretty well. Back to automatic. The vehicle is considered a sedan, although I'm pretty sure it'd be referred to something else. It weighs 1,631 pounds. Did you think I was going to say something else? I wasn't. It can definitely handle the shallow water nicely. And as for characteristics, everything is circular. There's no square on this thing. Well, that was a hyperbole, but hyperbole. Jeez. As for suspension, definitely handling nicely. On some models, this is the base one, but on some models it features suicide doors, which are definitely pretty cool. It is 2-doored on all models, and features no airbags. Seatbelts, we'd have to check. No, it doesn't. Well, you're not going very fast anyway. The transmission's geared pretty low. You're going 30 in 3rd gear. As expected, it doesn't go super fast, and has a performance class of 2. It does feature factory, some nice white-walled tires, and all the safety indicators you could ever want, as well as some nice and comfortable cloth seats, and wooden accents to the dashboard, mixed with a little bit of chrome and a circular gauge. As for road handling, definitely has a bit more grip on the stock tires. The carbon emissions are most likely not great. Autobello wasn't exactly focused on that when, in 1964, they were manufacturing a $16,000 car, which will most likely equivalent to about 30,000 in today's money, probably more. But I didn't have that information on script, so you'll just have to guess, or you can go look it up. There are some nice defined fenders that come from the body and gives it that more curved shape from the 60s. As you move into the 80s, you don't see a lot of that. It's not really coming back today. Everything's still square. As for uphill endurance, it seems to be losing speed, which is not a great sign. But it did make it up the hill. As for first person, or normal viewing, definitely handles fine. Brakes are definitely fairly nice, but it's 1,631 pounds, so what do you expect? High beams are included, as well as the indicators. And as for the front container, you have a fuel tank and a spare hood. As for the back, a beautiful 2-cylinder engine. Oh, and probably one thing I should also mention, no reverse lights. As for strict off-road handling, which is about what we're about to test, it's very bouncy. And as for damage resistance, we'll see. As we pass the beautiful scenery of Utah, you can notice this thing is handling very, very well. For a nice little car that probably lost a lot of value through its times, it is quite enjoyable to drive. Handles those jumps very decently, and as for the modern day, it's most likely very popular to mod, as in-game we can see all the different modifications that are available. For class, it's subcompact car, and well, that's what it is. It's not tiny, and yet it's not large either. You could fit 5 people in here, 6 if you tried. It features 8 windows, if that information matters to you. And as for extreme off-roading, it did do a little bit to the suspension. But other than that, it didn't take too much damage. A few fixed ball joints, and I'll be on your way again. Maybe a new rim. Definitely very durable. Now, as for our off-road uphill test, we can see it's beginning to overheat a little bit with all this use. But we're now on to downhill handling on the pavement. And with that little bit of speed there, you can see it lost a little bit of grip on the corner, but that's to be expected. Abrupt braking grip was very nice. It slowed down fairly quickly there. Without slamming on the brakes, it does slow down quite nicely as well. And for I'll check this afterwards, but if you look in the bottom corner there, we can see we've lost a little bit of fuel. So, fuel efficiency is not great, but that may just be because the fuel tank is small. Small boy. But, of course, it's probably fuel efficiency. Anyway, this lap is coming to an end, and I will deduct 20 seconds for that little, little demonstrations up on the hill over there. In the meantime, we're going to do some highway speed testing with the damage. And this is just to simulate years and years of... I missed that checkpoint. Didn't. Years and years of use. So you can see we do have a pole there, which is not the greatest, but it should be tolerable. In real life, you'd most likely just move the steering wheel over a bit. Now, for a speed test, you can see that it is gaining speed nicely. That oil temperature there has gone down a little bit, probably because of the speed here. The engine is air-cooled, there is no radiator, so the faster you go, the more cooling it gets, but the faster you go, the more work the engine has to do, if that makes sense. So going uphill, not great. Going straight, fine. This vehicle does feature electric start, which was pretty common in 1960, but just thought I'd mention. The engine is 2 cylinders and 1,100 cc. it comes default in black, and that's about it. You get 2 mirrors. There was 2 mirrors. Trust me, there was. And as you saw there, not super great handling high speed around corners, but it's too light to turn on high speeds. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and hit this checkpoint, turn a UE, and we will be done with this race. Did I miss a checkpoint? It was 15:13, but I'm pretty sure I somehow missed a checkpoint. Very odd. We're gonna go ahead and stop it there. Yes, okay. (15 minutes and 39 seconds for this little vehicle. And just to finish it off, a nice little panorama of the Autobello. But anyway, folks, that was day 1 of base model vehicle testing. Oh, and if you wanted a little bit of additional testing, no, it doesn't survive falling off a cliff. The engine does survive, though, and you would have mostly survived. Johnny in the back wouldn't have. Anyway, this has been the Bird King, or the Star Taxi 72, whatever you want to call me, and, Autobello. Goodbye, Tic Tac.